Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami. Sadhu, sadhu.
Whatever you do, you have to contemplate seriously your body and your mind. In every thought, not every second, but every thought. When it come in, come out. And you have to perform the selective thinking. Selective thinking. Eliminate all the unwholesome thinking or bad thinking. But when it moving, it goes vibration. And vibration attack to your sixth sense organ. You experience the vibration and you develop the action towards the vibration. Vibration is just vibration. You name it positive, you name it negative, because you are trained during your childhood, upbringing, education. But by nature, vibration is really vibration. Whatever you do, when you perform the emotional reaction against the vibration, immediately you generate the energy and take you to another life. Non-receptive to the external vibration. That's the first step. Second step, examination, which one is which, and eliminate the unwholesome, the trouble causes. In the Loka Sutra, the Buddha has categorically emphasized already, it's your consciousness which creates the universe. The universe arises according to your consciousness. I give you the simple example so that you can understand. I am what I am who I am. But 100 people will have a different perspective about me. Why all the billionaires in the world, they attain the billionaire position? Because they know that fact. That's the crucial fact. Now we come to the practicality, meditation pathway. The form has two sides. One's external, one internal. The comprising of the four elements manifested outside, we call the external form. And the appreciation of that form inside your brain, we call the internal form. So there are two kinds of form, not just one. You see a lady, her body is external. But how you feel about her, that's internal. The same person. You see? But manifestation in your behavior, your thinking, and your receptive, cognitive perception is so different. So the form and the mind recognition, we call the body and the form. Both of them play the role, will constitute the contact. Meaningful contact, conscious contact, or unconscious contact. Why it comes into contact? Because it's got a vibration from the wave of sound of the light. Two men standing together, the first thing what they do, they speak. The voice speak, the sound come out from their mouth, go to the ear of another person, is called vibration. But then the neural system take the vibration to the brain, comparing, analyzing, and reacting. Every procedure, when I say to you about 4 or 5 minutes, but it happened in your brain very quick, like a flash. When you react, after you analyze it, when you react, we say emotional reaction, because it's unconscious. the emotional reaction we will divide it into two parts. One manifests in your behavior. Another part come into the internal reaction, whether you want more or you want to suppress it. Say, I tell you, okay, you are very good, you are excellent, and you're so happy. And you say, what did you say, Master? Reconfirmation of your desire, of the sense of pleasure is great. They're very simple. So when you apply selective thinking, just think about the positive thing, think about something good, without the emotional, without the reaction. If anything come out, any thought coming in, causing the vibration, which is by nature, the emotional reaction. And that's the pathway. You have to reflect on the disadvantages of pursuit of the sensual pleasure. One thing I have to remind you that you have to know the scientific, medical, eating benefit for your body. Otherwise, you wouldn't get the full benefit when you do. The reason why I select banana before I eat the meal, before I consume the meal, it's very simple, because banana, it goes into my stomach and it takes only 5 minutes. Digestive system will operate, and it all banana vitamin, 13 kind of vitamin in banana, will automatically convert in 5 minutes into the vitamin and absorbed by my body. If you eat rice and at the end you eat banana, the rice will take about 2.5 hours, 3 hours to digest. And when you put the banana on the top, you just waste all the vitamin, because banana need only 5 or 10 minutes, no more. Otherwise it's spoiled. And that's why you pay attention. If you pay attention to my meal, you can see I refuse to eat rice. I only eat vegetable because they have the same quality. Some people ask me, why Master wouldn't like the rice? Is it horrible? I don't know. It's not about that. It's about my body. I know how to sleep. What does your body need? You know, that's analytical skill. Investigation of skill to understand the operation of your body. So the first thing, you have to always analyze sensual pleasure. Behind the sensual pleasure is the danger, the disadvantage, or the unwholesome activity generated from the sensual pleasure, jeopardize your goals of liberation. Put in the framework of the meditation teaching, 5 hindrances actually sensual pleasure. I take one example. Worriness. Why you have to worry? Why you have to be worried? Why you have to be concerned something which is irrelevant to your practice? Why you keep thinking here and there and suffering of the change, inevitable change? You cannot do anything, but why you keep wondering, thinking about something? Somebody swearing at you and they gone already, and you still feel upset. But two daily activities which are vitally important, creating the sense or the value of the sense of pleasure, is eating and sleeping. When do I have to eat? How much I have to eat? What kind of food should I eat? You keep thinking. So it's really unwholesome thinking. It's no good. You are slavery to your thinking about food. And you know the Buddha teaching very clear. If you do it every day, you will be born in the realms of animal, because you are thirsty of eating, thirsty of food, thirsty of smell. And if you think about food, but you cannot do it because you are the monk, and the principal rule is monk is not supposed to cook. The prohibition in the law, the Buddha restriction is monks not cooking. Then I have to suppress my desire. That's the same thing. It's essential pleasure. Unconscious reaction or unconscious suppression, all the same. No matter which one you select, unconscious reaction or unconscious suppression, you create the karmic stress, ignorant karmic stress, avijja karmic stress. So only by introspective investigation, you calm the mind, relax the body. That's two conditions. You have to relax. Don't force yourself too much. And you have to calm the mind, not wondering or not thinking something else. Then you can apply the introspective contemplation. Eating too much and sleeping too much because of one thing. Which one do you know? What the consequence? In every minute, you have to reflect on the danger of coming to contact with the sensual pleasure. Coming to contact with the sensual pleasure and bad thinking, bad thought. When you think there's a certain pleasant thinking, you say, okay, my children give me 5,000 or 500,000, I'm going to buy a cigarette, so happily. That's the sensual pleasure in the thinking. And you know for sure the increased absorption and the increase of the sensual pleasure will create the damage to your body in the long run. Và các bạn thấy rất rõ sự nguy hiểm của cảm giác dục lạc đối với cái thân tâm của mình trên con đường tu học. You develop the metta, the loving kindness to your body. You take care of your body seriously. 7 billion cells in our body doesn't belong to us. They all belong to somebody else. But we borrow them for our survival. In every minute, every second, if you get angry, in every second, you destroy 3 million cells in your brain. But when you love your body, that means you develop metta. Then you can share the metta with other people. Without true loving yourself, whatever you do, it's just the manifestation of greed, the hidden greed. And the compassion will generate happiness, the real happiness, but still have the attachment. It's not by the meditation, by equanimity, you develop the real blissful. No, it still have the cause, the attachment. Both of them have the same expression, but they have a different character. Sensual pleasure creates some vibration, enjoyment, but the happiness is the calmness of the mind. It's too different. When you develop the metta, and also you develop the happiness, you generate the happiness, the energy, the calmness, the peace inside, you will experience tranquility of the mind. You can see everything crystal clear in some instant. Even I myself experienced it. My friend, a lot of monks, they experience it. In one moment, they can see something which normally they wouldn't be able to see. In some instant, about 2 o'clock, before my meditation at night, I went out in the library. I stand there and I feel very calm, very happy, and I focus. And suddenly I saw few ladies sweeping in the front yard, and I know they just the invisible people, the dead people, but they come here, they clean the front yard, and that tranquility affords you to enter the first jhana, without which you will never get anywhere. You don't see anything. You don't experience the peace inside. There's 2 conditions for you to go through this pathway to achieve the peaceful. Number 1, you have to see the real facts of life. This is just suffering. You have to see the suffering. Suffering in eating, suffering in sleeping, suffering and not eating, suffering in eating. Both. You have to see it. Aging, rebirth, dying. Somebody very old, but they never contemplate what is suffering. That's called ignorance. Somebody very ill, but never contemplate the illness leading to the suffering. Double ignorance. The Buddha said, ignorant, dukkha over dukkha.
The first thing you have to appreciate the dukkha, the suffering. You have to see it. In everything there's a dukkha. The second point is any attachment to the sensual pleasure will cause suffering. Tất cả những cái gì dính mắc tới cảm giác dục lạc đều là khổ. You have to see it. You have to transform your mind. Like eating. You enjoy eating. You don't see the suffering. But eating actually suffering. You go behind. At the end of the day, if you cannot go to the toilet, what's wrong with the eating? Suffering. Just because you cannot go to the toilet after you eating. Too suffering. So, you know what kind of thing your body can take in. You control it. You manage it productively, effectively, with the design, consciously. That's where the Buddha say, no more attachment to the sensual pleasure. No more desire to have the sensual pleasure. I got too many friends practicing about 50 years, for 60 years meditation. Get nowhere, cannot attain the first jhana simply because they don't control their eating and sleeping. Very simple. So I'm not surprised. I don't mean I'm criticizing anybody. I'm sorry. Don't feel offended. The Buddha teaching very clear. There's only two ways. One, return to the samsara. Another one, enter the nirvana. It's up to you to choose. When I went to America, majority of my disciples, my junior monks, they fully committed to eating and sleeping. They enjoy it. I said, that's good. You come back to become a monk again because you enjoy it. What are you eating when you have 20 dishes? You actually eating only smell, taste, nothing else. They are converted into vitamin, absorbed in your bloodstream. The rest go to the toilet. Why do you eat too much and then you have to go to the toilet? Enjoy the suffering of going to the toilet. Why you create suffering for yourself? And you indulging yourself into the suffering. So you are recalcitrant, ignorance. At the end, you still have to see through the suffering. And that's the technique. The first stage, you have to believe, you have to do reflection on the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha, and even yourself. You have to see it, contemplate on that. And you cultivate the good thought. I talked about that already. You have to set up the goal. What do you want to do when you practice Buddhism? What do you want to do? What do you want to be when you try to meditate? Because you enjoy it. Because somebody say, you are good people, you enjoy practicing meditation. Or what? They have very attractive power to dominate yourself, your body and your mind.
Sense of pleasure, very powerful. It's just manifestation from the sense of pleasure. Happiness and happiness generated from the sensual pleasure. Sensual pleasure is cause and effect is happiness, unhappiness. Pursuing happiness is a desire. The more happiness you want, the more desire. So here only the two ways you can develop. One is compassion, develop a compassion, and once you got a compassion, you become selfless. And you develop the wisdom, and you can enjoy blissful non-conflict. A perception, appreciate what happened without interfering, without judgmental preferences. Appreciate a perception, I call a perception, acknowledging whatever happened inside, outside, without the conflict. And that causes a state of the nirvana, non-conflict. Very peaceful. The Buddha, 45 years after enlightenment, he went out and preaching everywhere, and he returned the nirvana. He enjoyed the peaceful non-conflict nirvana internally. That's why the Buddha said, after I pass away, no more life. You can experience it. Many people experience it already. But they don't experience it continuously. They experience only 1 second, 1 minute. I think that's enough. We pray.